Okay, this is Unit 1, Lesson 10, and Activity 4. So this is 10.4, Triangle 1, O-N-E, Triangle 1 plus. And so now we're going to add several triangles to this triangle. This is an isosceles triangle, so that means that this length is 5 units. This length here, OE, also has to be 5 units. This angle measures 30 degrees. These two angles, by the way, are also equal. They have to measure 75 degrees. Has to get to 150 degrees, and then this is the final 30 degrees. But they don't ask you that. All right, so let's see what's going on here. You're going to reflect triangle ONE over line segment ON. So you have to draw a line that's perpendicular from point E, because point E is going to reflect at a right angle in a perpendicular direction, and it's going to land an equal distance on the other side. So it's going to land over here somewhere. So it has to be an equal distance. So there's the equal distance, and it has to be at a right angle. So it's a 90-degree angle. It's also called perpendicular. And it lands right there. So now you connect the points, and you get the second triangle, OMN. And they ask you, what's the measure of this angle at the top? So MON, what does that measure? Well, it has to measure 30 degrees, because this is a reflection of a triangle. A reflection is a rigid transformation, so nothing's changing. The lengths of the sides aren't changing. The size of the angles aren't changing. So if this is a reflection of this triangle over to here, then this angle has to be 30 degrees. This side length, by the way, OM, also has to be 5 units. So then they ask you to do this again. So now I'm going to reflect this triangle, OMN, over line segment or side OM. All right, so draw a perpendicular line through the point that has to be reflected. And so this is going to move at a right angle, and it's going to land an equal distance on the other side. So there is one, call it 1 unit, and an equal distance 2 units. This is going to be point T. So now you connect them. Now you get a third triangle. Well, what's the measure of this angle up here have to be? It has to be 30 degrees. What's the measure of this line segment right here, OT? It has to be 5 units, because everything is 5 units, and all of these angles have to be 30 degrees. So if you add them all together these equal 90 degrees. And then the authors say, well, what's going to happen? What happens if you just continue in this pattern all the way around? And so you're going to add these 3 triangles. Actually, you can just rotate them around now. So rotate these 3 triangles 90 degrees up here. Rotate them again 90 degrees, and another 90 degrees, and you end up with this 12-sided shape. So 12-sided shape is called it's called a dodecagon. Do meaning 2, and deca meaning 10. So 10 plus 2 is 12. So this is a 12-sided shape called a dodecagon. So dodecagon. So all of these angles are going to be 30 degrees. There are 12 of them. 4 times 3 is 12. And so you're going to find out that 12 times 30 equals 360. And that makes sense.